Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha, and in this video we're going to be speaking about New Year's resolutions and how to set them up as an INFJ, or even if we need to. I'm sorry about the mess in the back. I'm actually packing up to leave Toronto to go back to Thailand, and so it's a little bit of a mess. Oh boy. So in this video, as I said, I want to speak to you guys about New Year's resolutions and how, in my opinion, or I think a lot of us probably as INFJs believe that New Year's resolutions are a complete waste of time because you shouldn't really be setting yourself up for failure, and that you shouldn't just be doing resolutions in the beginning of the year or on your birthday, having bucket lists for your birthday or things like that, but throughout the year. Your life is a project. It's not just on the new year that you should be caring about the fact that you should set new resolutions or change your life or become that new person that you want to become, but your entirety of your life should be depending or should be devoted to spending your time doing the things that you want to do, becoming the person that you want to become, living your purpose, whatever that means to you, right? So in that regard, I dislike New Year's resolutions because they don't really make any sense to me. I'm not just going to think about it in the new year. I'm always constantly on a daily basis thinking about how to improve myself, how to become a better person, what do I want to learn, what do I want to do, what's on my bucket list, how can I achieve my ideal life, and all of that on a constant basis. And I think that's the way INFJs are set up in general for goals and resolutions or any kind of related subject. We're always constantly thinking about improving ourselves. It's our life project. The main thing that we're focused on all throughout our life is to become a better person and become the best version of ourselves as much as possible. And so we don't really think about doing things at a certain time. So when I turned 30, I wasn't suddenly thinking to myself, okay, I've turned 30, so I'm going to do a bunch of things that signifies that I've turned 30. I'm always constantly doing them, and it doesn't really matter. Like, the age doesn't matter, the year doesn't matter, the date doesn't matter. It's a daily practice for an INFJ. Oh, that's what I think from the conversations I've had with you guys and from myself, right? But some of you guys have told me or have asked me about setting up goals for the new year. Not necessarily resolutions. I'm not going to say it as a resolution because it's a negative word too, right? You have to be resolute to do it. No, you're going to do it because you really care about it. You're going to do it because it jibes with your life purpose. You're going to do it because it is aligned with that person that you want to become. And so you're automatically wanting to do these kind of things. You're wanting to set up these goals and wanting to strive for them. Why else do you think I get up every morning and do the work that I do? Why else do I spend every single day working on my goals and doing the things I do? Not because there is some kind of demonic purpose in me, or some kind of weird thing about me. It's because I have a vision in my mind. I have this mission or vision that I follow through, and everything that I'm doing is aligned with that mission. It's aligned with that vision that I have for myself and for the life that I want to lead. The overall ideal that I have in my head. I have this idea in my head that I want my life to look a certain way, and that means that I have to do certain things every single day in order to get to that goal. Now, every single time I reach a certain goal, obviously, I move the target a little bit further ahead, which means that I'm always constantly working towards something new, because you never actually really reach your target, right? I mean, you might reach one target, but then you realize, oh, you know what? If I can reach this target, then that means I'm strong enough and brave enough and good enough to reach that other target as well. And so you're always constantly increasing your goal or moving the goal ahead, so you can constantly improve yourself, because there's never an end. You're never going to be able to say, okay, now I've done everything that I wanted to do, so I can just die in peace right now. I don't think it's a possibility, at least not for an INFJ, right? All of this to say that I believe that it's a good time, if you guys are interested in setting up goals for the rest of the year, for your life, or whatever it might be. It's a good time to do it right now. But in general, I recommend that you kind of look at it on a quarterly basis at least. I obviously do it on a monthly basis because I have a lot of goals that I'm working on constantly. And so I'm always looking at it monthly to see, okay, did I reach it? Did I not reach it? So is there something that I need to remove from my repertoire? Is there something that I need to stop doing? Is there something I need to start doing? And all of that. I'm constantly looking at it on a monthly basis. But a quarterly basis is a great time to do it as well, or a yearly basis, as most people do it. And you start looking at the different things that you want to achieve in your life. Now, this doesn't necessarily just include financial goals, which a lot of people kind of have, or weight loss goals, which a lot of people have as well. Most people, I feel, are obsessed with losing weight or making money. And it's fine if those two are your goals. That's awesome. You can put that on the list. But there's a lot of other things that you want to achieve with yourself. And I put a lot of goals on my list of personality traits or characteristics. One of the goals that I had a few years back was I wanted to become more patient, because I was becoming really, really impatient with certain people and certain things, and I really wanted to develop that skill. And so I put that on my list. I still have patience on my list though, because even though I'm more patient than I was before, I'm still very impatient. And so things like that, it can be characteristics, it can be people you want to meet, people you want to have dinner with. For example, if there's some famous people that you really, really, really love and you really want to meet them, or you want to be friends with them, or you want to be pen pals, put that on the list. Places you want to visit, obviously travel is definitely a big one for me this year. There's going to be a bunch of new places that I go to that I have put on my list. Physical characteristics, obviously, weight loss goals are always a good one. Most people put that on there. I don't really have that goal. I have more like health or energy goals. I'm always obsessed with having the highest level of energy possible. And that means that I have to constantly be taking care of my meditation practice and my self-care routines, and making sure that I get enough exercise during the day, and I'm eating healthy, not a lot of meat, etc. And so energy is definitely one of my goals. I'm always trying to improve my energy levels and have more energy so I can do these videos and do all of the stuff that I do, right? And so what I would recommend is kind of making a huge pile of that list, having all of those things, maybe 50, 60 ideas on there of things that you want to achieve, because it might end up being a long list. It might end up being a short list. You might think, oh, wow, I've done everything that I wanted to do and I don't want to do anything else. You might have very few things on your list. I have, I think, maybe 4 or 5 things on my list that I want to achieve this year. As I said, travel is one of them. Health is definitely always constantly on my mind. I'm always making sure that I'm in the prime of my ability and prime of my health, so I can do all of these things and not get sick, especially because I travel a lot. I'm always on my own. And so there's no one to take care of me. And so if I get sick, then, I'm taking care of myself. And it sucks to be sick by yourself. And so that's definitely a big one for me. Obviously, keeping on doing these videos and enhancing my communication skills, becoming better at talking about my ideas and conveying and expressing my ideas. Podcast, blogging, writing. I want to publish a few novels this year, so that's definitely on my list. So, think about all the different ideas that you want to put on your list, all the different goals or bucket list items or whatever it might be. And you might get a long list, you might have a short list. And from that list, I would pull maybe 4 or 5 really important ideas for you, really important goals, and then put that list on for this year. So that would be your list for this year. And then as that happens, as you cut them off or you check them off, you keep on going and you start adding new things to the list or moving things about or realizing this wasn't as important to you as you thought it might be, because you'll get more and more ideas and more insight on yourself as you start achieving things and as you start crossing things off. Now, a bunch of you have also mentioned that you have a hard time sticking to things, right? Sticking to ideas and goals. And I always say the same thing to every single person who says that to me, because a lot of people message me saying, how do you stick to your goals? And I do have a lot of goals that I did not stick to, right? There were goals that I stick to even years and years and years later, like meditation. I've been meditating for 8 years now, I think, 8 years. And I have been meditating, and without, obviously I skip a day. I've skipped a day or two here or there, but mostly I've meditated straight through for 8 years, which is for me a big feat. It's a long time. Same thing with yoga. I've been doing yoga for 8 years as well. I started around the same time, or maybe longer than that, 10 years maybe. And so things like that. They're writing, obviously. I've been writing since I was 12, so 20 plus years, right? Certain things I'll stick to because it's part of my prime directive, if I want to call it. It's part of my essence, I would say. I can't give it up anymore. Writing is a part of my essence. I'm going to write until the day I die, until the moment I die, probably. I'll have a pen in my hand scribbling away. Same thing with yoga and meditation. I'm going to do it until the day I die. So it's part of my essence. But also, not only that, it's part of my vision and mission for myself. the person that I see myself becoming, the person that I want to become, the person that is the essence of me, that best version of me that I've always wanted to be, always wanted to portray, always wanted to express. That person does these things. That person does yoga. That person meditates every day. That person writes. I'm a writer at essence, in my soul, in my spirit. And so because it jibes with my vision and my mission for myself and so important to me, I can stick with it. For example, some other things I cannot stick with. What can I not stick with? For example, I've done a couple of businesses I've started in the past. For example, coaching, actually. Yeah, that's a good one. Coaching. I always assumed that I'd be a good coach. And I am good at it, I think. I just don't like it. I don't like the act of coaching. I don't like the physical. I just don't like anything about it. And so because it didn't jive with either my characteristics or my vision or mission for myself, I did not do it. I didn't stick with it. I did it for a few months and then I gave it up. Now, obviously, I'm doing these videos, and which is kind of like a kind of coaching, but I don't like one-on-one coaching. I like the idea of one-to-many kind of coaching, which is what I'm doing with these videos. So it's just ideas. I'm trying to just kind of give you an idea of how my brain works and how I am able to stick with these things because of my mission and vision, right? A lot of people say that you should be able to say your vision or mission in a sentence or two. I don't think it's necessarily true. Some people's visions or missions for themselves are really, really long. You can write like essays on it. But I would definitely recommend that you sit down and write down your vision for yourself and your mission. What is your mission in life? Why are you here, right? You might not know what your mission is. So maybe your mission is going to be, or I need to figure out what my mission is, right? That's a really good mission to have, figuring out what your mission on this planet, what your purpose is actually a really good mission to have. Most people just go about it as if they're just going to stumble upon it. At least if you have it on your mission, then you can start thinking about it in a more direct manner. You can start deliberately bringing it into your life, right? And vision for yourself. What kind of person do you see yourself becoming or wanting to become? What's the best version of yourself looking like? If you were on television all day long, if you were on camera all day long, if someone was watching you, like the Jim Carrey movie, what was that movie called? In which he's on television all day long. I can't remember the name now. Anyways, if you were on television all day long, if you were on camera, like if someone was watching you all the time, what kind of a person would you be? Because if you're watched, then you're probably going to behave a little bit better. You're going to do things a little bit differently. Maybe wake up a little bit earlier. Maybe be nicer to that barista or whatever it might be, right? And so if you were being watched, pretend like you are. And so what would you look like? How would you behave? And why don't you do that right now, right? So writing it down really helps you shape your idea about yourself and where you want to be in the future. Where do you see yourself in the future? Now, for me, I don't actually do like 5, 10, 15-year goals because that kind of time space, it doesn't make sense to me. I can't imagine myself in that long time space, right? And so for me, mostly, as I said, I do what am I going to do for the next month, and then what are my goals for the year, and that's it. I don't worry about the year after. I don't worry about anything else because, again, as I said, we might not be alive in a year or two, but not only that, like it's really hard because things change so fast in this world. At least for me, I don't even know where I will be, which country I'll be living in, what I'll be doing, who I'll be with, and so I really cannot make long-term decisions about my life in that manner. And so I really just do 1 month goals. I want to know what I'm doing next month, next couple of months maybe, and then I want to know what are the big long-term, big chunky goals that I want to achieve over the year. And then that's it. I don't worry about anything else. I don't do 5-year, 10-year goals. But I do know that other people recommend that you do that. If you are able to think in such long time spaces, then do that. You set up your 5, 10, 15-year goals and then use that to realize where you want to be in 15 years, 10, 20 years, if that's something that works for you. I really don't care where I am in 15, 20 years. I'm just concerned about today. I'm concerned about this week, and I'm concerned about this month. I am very, I think very short term. Maybe that's why I'm not as successful as I should be. But I like it. That works for me. It's the way I've done things, and I like living in the moment more so than kind of living in the future. Again, I hope this makes sense. I hope that I was able to answer. Oh wow, that's a long video, 15 minutes already. I hope I was able to answer your question questions if you guys had any, or if you were thinking about it. If you have any more questions on the subject, and if you have anything specific that you want me to speak about, let me know. Again, I do excuse the mess behind me. I'm packing. I'm packing for like a 9-10 month sojourn through Asia, and so it's a little bit messy. I'm so sorry. This is definitely not the J in me. Anyways, I shall see you guys the next time around. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.